bad, me sick, me Reggaeville.
Reggaeville family, this is Reggae Jam 2019, and I have with me a wonderful brethren who did an amazing performance earlier today. Uwe Banton, how is everything, sir?
Yes, thank you very much for the nice introduction and the invitation. I'm fine, very fine.
Did you enjoy this performance at this very special event, which is kind of a family gathering every year of the reggae fraternity here in Germany?
Oh yes, I did so. You know, I even said it on the stage. Was my 20th year. You know, it was like an anniversary for me. You know, yeah. So I played here the first time 20 years ago, 1999. Yeah.
And you're still this young, you know.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. No, we give thanks for life. You know, it's really a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to be at this event. The event, Reggae Jam, is a blessing. You know, it's a real. As I said, it's the number one or the only real authentic reggae festival. I mean, when you come to Reggae Jam, you only get reggae. There's no hip hop here. There's nothing against the other genres, you know. Yeah. But this is the real festival for reggae people, you know. And this is why it's special, yeah. And we are happy that it's been going on for 25 years now. Yes.
We're celebrating the anniversary, so big up the whole Reggae Jam family and Sheriff and all the crew.
Yes.
Just recently, though, you also played at another wonderful event, the Reggae im Handfeld, Reggae in the Hemp Field.
Yes.
Please tell me a little bit about this event.
Well, Reggae im Handfeld, Reggae in the Hemp Field, you know, is an event that I have also, you know, initiated. I'm one of the initiators because apart from doing music, when I'm not doing music, you know, I have to also, you know, do some works, you know, to keep everything going and to make ends meet. So I happened to meet this wonderful company in Steinheim in Westfalen, that is about 50 kilometers from Bielefeld. You know, they have for more than 20 years they have been doing hemp cultivation, hemp products, mostly like food products from hemp. And when I met them in 2014, we did it to actually shoot a video for the Sweet Sativa song. And then we became very good friends, and I do work for them at times, and they had the idea of doing a festival in the hemp field, you know. So when I came there, you know, Yamik, you know, also came there. We came along. Then we spoke about the idea, and then I gave my support, and then, you know, the idea became more concrete, and it manifested, you know, that we did it in 2015 the first time. Then 2017 was the second edition, and now 2019 was the third edition, and it was really a great vibe, yeah.
And it's really actually a festival in the hemp field.
Yes.
How is it? You mentioned you have close contact with the company, with the growers there. More and more countries are legalizing or decriminalizing marijuana. Do you see this also coming or happening in Germany? What do you think?
Well, it remains to be a very politically, a political question. You know, what we are talking about, reggae in the hemp field, it's an industrial hemp field, you know. But just to show you the contradiction, you know, within the law here and the regulations here in Germany, it's an industrial hemp field. In Germany, it's legal to cultivate industrial hemp for farmers, yeah, and we have the permission to do a reggae festival in the middle of an industrial hemp field. But if any of the visitors took one of these plants home with them and got stopped by police, the police, they take another law, yeah, which is the drug law, and they said, according to the drug law, possession of cannabis plants and their parts is forbidden. You know, so a policeman could arrest you for a plant that has been cultivated legally. You know, so that and that is, we are talking industrial hemp, not even medicinal or recreational, you know. So you can smoke a ton of this, you know, and not, it doesn't make you high, you know. So the reason or the excuse that they are giving to not to free up the herb, you know, it's a very weak one, because it proves that it's a folly, you know, when they are saying it's legal to grow industrial hemp, but for a private person it's not allowed to have it, yeah. So they are fighting this battle, and I don't know what else they're gonna come up with next, you know. But it's still a very serious battle, and the battle is not yet won. You know, we still need to do much more work, but a lot has happened, you know, over the last 10 years, 20 years, and people are much more informed and educated, you know, nowadays than 10, 20 years ago. So you can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool them all the time, you know. So this is not going to go on forever, you know. The latest, you know, when the politicians and those who are in power and who are responsible for it, when they fear to embarrass themselves, you know, that is the time when they're going to free up the thing, you know, when it looks stupid on them, you know, by repeating all this propaganda and lies and wrong information, you know. That is the day. They're still doing it, and they're looking stupid, actually. Everybody knows, but the right people still have to know this, you know. We need to convince them. That's why we won't stop campaign, you know, for freeing up the herb. No matter industrial, medicinal herb is good. It needs a little, you know, regulation and overseeing, you know, but it's a cultural thing and a social thing also, more than anything else. If we just say it's forbidden, you know, the youths, they like to do anything that is forbidden, you know. So it's better we guide them and we show them, you know, the right way how to deal with it, you know, and the responsible way to deal with it. Yeah.
I really appreciate that you're and your circles are putting in the effort and still having the strength to fight this battle.
Yes.
I really hope that in a very near future we can finally go further, because at the same time still, as you mentioned, people are growing the industrial hemp. It can only be sold commercially. Private persons would not be able to buy it, which is a problem for growers, because there is only a very small group of people that can actually buy from them. So for them, it cannot even develop into a real, actual good business.
Yes.
People that are doing the CBD oil are still experiencing backlashes.
There's so much contradiction. Let me tell you, when I started working with them 5 years ago, the pharmaceuticals, they were claiming that CBD has no medicinal value. Now they have found
entirely
out.
wrong propaganda.
Yes. Now they have found that it has medicinal value. They lobbied the EU, to have CBD only sold in pharmacies, and now they are trying to put restriction on hemp in food, like hemp tea, you know, by putting some ridiculous maximum, you know, limited amount of THC, which makes it almost impossible, you know, to sell food. It's a lot of things, you know. It would be an entirely another interview. Yes, you know, because there's so much to it, and but it's good that, you know, we who know about it, you know, we should not you know, keep quiet. We should not remain silent about this, because the truth is the truth, you know, and it's no crime, you know, to talk about it. You know, maybe some people might be offended because they don't like it, but everyone should be encouraged, you know, not to remain silent about this. You know, everyone should not be afraid, you know. No need to be afraid.
No, not at all. I mean, now people act surprised when they say, "Oh, it really has a medical purpose."
Yeah.
100 years ago, it was just normal to heal basically everything in Europe through hemp.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, comes of quite a surprise to some people, which is just because some lobbyists want to make their money with their medicine and not with a non-licensed plant that everybody can grow.
Yes. It's a stigma, you know. They try to stigmatize it, but, you know, thanks to Also, I would say to modern technology, something like the internet that helps information to spread around, for these truths, to be revealed, to everyone, and everyone who wants to know about this, they can educate themselves and find the information easily. One time, 20 years ago, you had to buy some kind of book, that someone told you about, and then where to find the book. It was like a hidden information, but nowadays it's not hidden anymore, So, yeah, the truth cannot be stopped, we are confident.
But thank you also for putting up an event like this where you have people gathered in a hemfield and you can actually just educate them right on the spot, and they can get in touch and get to know about the plant.
And to experience it also, just to know this is a wonderful plant. I mean, not just medicinal value, even so many people don't know it, that hemp seeds are one of the most valuable nutritional, in terms of amino acids, protein and what do you call it? Yes, oil. The fatty acids and all that. I don't know the English terms, so precisely, but one of the healthiest thing, and so versatile. You can even chop up the stick, mix it with some concrete and use it to build houses, And everyone knows about the fiber, that can make the nicest clothes and everything. So it's the most versatile plant that we have, that we can cultivate, So, and plus it's good for the climate. Now everyone is talking about climate change. It's also another topic, Climate change is always a big topic, and it makes me sad and I feel to cry sometimes that if they would equally pay attention to human rights, for all human beings on this planet, because climate change, I'm not denying that it's there, but what we can do immediately is very it's a very indirect. They're telling us, we have to pass new laws, for to collect CO2 taxes, and then this can help to, it's a very indirect way to dealing with the matter, and people feel kind of, what can we do immediately? But when it comes to human rights, we have the duty, to urge, our politicians, the political leaders to see to it that human rights are guaranteed to every human being on this planet. This is the number one reason for conflicts in this world. And if human rights are observed, then ecological, matters will also be observed. Because if I respect the right and the dignity of a next man, I cannot pollute his environment. So it all starts with respect for people.
Basically, really simple, but
yes, and I wish they would give equal attention, to human rights, Yeah, listen to the Rasta man. When the Rasta man is saying one love, everyone think, oh yeah, they like to live in a dream. Well, no, it sounds very nice, but it's very important. It's essential.
Yeah, man.
It's essential. Yes.
And I really appreciate also the fact that you care for other humans that much, that you also bring your brethren on stage when you go on stage as well. And the very special one you brought the other day is a brethren from Ethiopia, from Shashamane, Teddy Dan. Tell me a bit about him.
Well, Teddy Dan is an artist, a very, very great person, and an artist, and not just a singer, musician, also a painter. Originally, he's from Jamaica, and he spent a lot of time in England, Manchester. He was one of the leading people within the 12th tribe of Israel in Manchester, where the headquarters is of the 12th tribe of Israel. But he has repatriated to Ethiopia about 24 years ago, and actually one of the trumpet player from my former band Movements, by the name of Aitiko, he went on tour in 1999 with Teddy Dan in Zimbabwe. You know, I never met Teddy Dan until I went to Ethiopia recently in May. You know, but had heard so much about him that it was like I known him already. You know, and then the group that invited me to Ethiopia, that is Rastafari.travel. They are also here, Rastafari.travel. They, you know, organize tours and that kind of thing, you know, especially for Rasta people or culturally interested people. They organize a trip from Addis to Shashamane, and then we also visited Teddy Dan in his house, and it's an amazing house that he has done so much painting and artworks and great paintings, you know, in his living room from His Majesty Marcus Garvey, Prophet Gad. Great. I have pictures here, and I could show you later on. It's really an amazing person, and he has so much to tell, you know, from his experience from repatriating to Ethiopia 23 years ago. You have to remember that the Rastas, the early Rastas who repatriated, they had to go through a lot of struggle. It was not a bed of roses. It's still not a bed of roses. I met this Rasta lady there who told me when she first came to Ethiopia, she had not even shoes on her feet, you know. She started with a small business, you know, selling small things, and then eventually now she has, you know, her own shop. But everyone had to start very humble. You know, when you go to Ethiopia, you have to be humble, you have to be open-minded and willing to learn, because it's a country and a nation with a very ancient history. In fact, most probably the most ancient history for us as human beings. This is where, you know, scientists say it, and a lot of proof is that you know, we as human beings, we started our journey in Ethiopia. So then this means this is the beginning of civilization, of culture, of language, and you can feel it very much when you are touring through East Africa, not just Ethiopia, but especially in particular Ethiopia, but Uganda, Kenya. You know, like, to give you for an example, I passing through Uganda, you're learning that the country has 52 different languages. In Kenya too, I don't know how many languages in Kenya. In Ethiopia, I think it's more than 70 different languages. There's no other place on this planet that has so much diversity in terms of people, ethnicity, you know, language, culture, you know. So that is the proof, actually, that this is where everything started, you know. So there's so much to learn for the entire world, you know. When you go into that place, it's you can only go there, be humble and learn, you know. You cannot you know, the love that you feel, you know. Let me give you one example. When we were walking through Addis, I noticed one thing, and I said it to my friends. I say, you know, here in Addis, it seems to me like even the ones who are sitting on the roadside begging, they look happier than a lot of people here in Europe. Because every Ethiopian, you know, Ethiopian, you have to know, is probably the most religious country. Yeah, they made like surveys, and they said 89% of Ethiopians say of themselves that they are religious, that they believe in God. So
I think the word atheist doesn't even exist in Amharic. You know?
Could be, you know, and they see it as their duty, you know. It's part of their faith and their culture to take care of those who are in need, you know. That means when they give, you know, to someone who, you know, who is begging, who is poor, they give it with all respect and love and you know, for the dignity, you know, of this person who is begging, you know. And the one who is receiving it feels that love, and just the, you know, the smile, you know, eye contact. It's just such an amazing thing to observe, you know. This is why I say in Ethiopia, from my observation, it appears as if the people who are begging, they have a brighter smile than a lot of people here, and it's very hard to explain it, to people here in Germany, because we live a different life here in Europe. Life is very much based around working, material, gain and all that kind of stuff. But probably that spirit, can be mostly found at events like this, reggae jam, and where people come together in that same spirit, and it's a spirit of love, it's a spirit of knowing that no one is alone, we are all connected, and there's something that is, that it's worth it to give thanks for, the sunlight, the fresh air, complaining, doesn't help anyone, complaining doesn't give you a good start in the day, you have to learn how to be thankful, and this is part of your faith. If you want to be a Muslim or a Christian, but to have something, to say, to learn how to be thankful, to be yes, to give thanks for life, because we cannot take it for granted, because there are people here we used to see here at Reggae Jam, we don't see them again, and that's why it's important to cherish every day, because the life that we live in is a gift, is a gift, and it's good to not to take it for granted, to be thankful for it. Yeah.
Uwe, thank you so much for these wonderful words. I do give thanks for life, and I do give thanks for this wonderful interview. And I wish you a wonderful, amazing weekend here still at Reggae Jam. All the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Munchi, for having me here, for the invitation. Blessed love to all the Reggaeville viewers. Rastafari live and rule and reign over Banton. Say one love to everyone, yeah? It's last year.
Me mad, me sick, me Reggaeville.